So here we are. We're at the end of week 1 of 1,000 rejections in 100 days. And let me tell you, it is not what I expected. There were many surprises this week. We're still analyzing the data that we received this week, and I'm so glad that there is data to analyze. I'm going to be sharing the messaging and everything with you in the next couple of weeks once I feel confident that what I'm giving you is actually valuable and useful. So stay tuned for that. But over the last 5 days, we've sent out 100 messages, cold messages, and received multiple no's. And yes, I'd like to learn more. Both were surprising. Both. I didn't really expect many people to reply at all. So I am very relieved that something happened and that we have something to analyze. One thing that really stuck out this week for me was the frame of mind I put myself in when writing those messages and responding to people is very different from what I normally think. And I think the best way to talk about it is to talk about what an authoritative frame feels like and sounds like. I do sincerely believe that it is much of the reason why I had more success this week than I thought. An authoritative frame it's more than just necessary, right? When you're having negotiations, when you're running a business and you're trying to land a prospect, if you don't believe yourself that you are an authority in your field, then the prospect is certainly not going to believe that. And even if you believe it, if you don't sound that way, they're still not going to think that you are, and they'll walk away. So I would like to tell you 3 things that I do to put myself in an authoritative frame of mind before going into a meeting where I have to negotiate terms, or if I'm simply trying to land a prospect. The first thing that I do is stop thinking about trying to get a yes and focusing on qualifying that lead. So instead of thinking, oh, I hope they say yes, I remind myself, this might not be a good fit. So I'm going to find out if this is a good fit. I know who my target market is. I know who my perfect client is. If they don't fit into that very, very particular niche area, then I need to say, sorry, this isn't a fit for us. But I will always also add, I will look within my network and see if somebody else is and help them out if I can, and refer a friend, refer someone that I know can actually help them. So that's the first thing that I do, and I encourage you to do. Focus on the purpose of the conversation. You're qualifying whether or not you are a good fit to work together. And the answer could possibly be no. Number 2, do an identity anchor before getting on the call or having the meeting. And by identity anchor, I mean consider who you have already helped with your offer, why your offer is valuable, and what results have you gotten to support how valuable your offer is. Think about those 3 answers over and over in your mind for about 1 minute before you actually get on the call. It will remind you and set your mind in that authoritative frame that you are an authority. You have helped others with your offer. It is an excellent fit for the right person, for the right company, for the right client. And going back to number 1, it might not be the person you're about to talk to. So do an identity anchor. Remind yourself of why your offer is valuable, who you've already helped, who it was beneficial for, and what the results show to support this. And then get on the call as the authority figure that you are. All right, so that's number 2. So number 1 was shift from selling to qualifying the lead. And number 2, do the identity anchor. Last one, number 3, visualize powerfully for 2 minutes. Now, I know some of you are probably like, visualization, how silly, doesn't really work. What do you have to lose, first of all? Absolutely nothing. Second of all, yes, it does. It 100% works. And until you try it, you're not going to believe it. So just try it. use the visualization. If you don't really believe in it, or you don't believe me, that's okay. Look on ChatGPT, Google it. Look at the research that's been done on visualization and the success. Look at the companies and most of all the sports teams around the world that use it as part of their practice on a regular basis, because it's that powerful to use visualization. So what do you visualize? What is a powerful visualization for, preparing to get on a call or to go into a meeting? Well, there are 3 things that you can visualize that can help. One is you are calmly but assertively controlling the conversation. And by controlling the conversation, you are asking good questions. You are getting the prospect to open up and tell you about the challenges they're having so that you can find out whether or not they qualify as a lead and whether or not you can actually help them fix their problem. So whether or not you're a good fit. But visualize yourself confidently, calmly, but assertively leading the conversation. Okay, that's the first visualization. The second one, visualize the prospect, whether on your computer virtually or sitting across the table from you. Visualize them leaning forward to listen to you when you're talking and taking notes, and them asking if they qualify to work with you. Isn't that powerful, right? So imagine that they're busy taking notes about what you're recommending. They're leaning forward to listen and they want to know, so are we a fit? Can we do this? Can you help us? Visualize that. They are trying to get you. You are not trying to sell to them. All right, that's number 2. Number 3, this one is incredibly hard for most people to do, me included. Visualize yourself calmly ending the call if it's not a good fit, with no guilt whatsoever. This is a difficult one for me to even visualize, let alone do, but it is essential. Picture yourself saying to the prospect, this has been a great conversation. I've really enjoyed hearing about your organization, but I don't think this is a good fit. I don't think we're the ones to help you, but I will look in my network and see if there's anyone that I know that can serve your needs better. Smiling and saying, have a nice day. I know you just kind of want to work with anybody at some points in your career, right? With your business. As entrepreneurs, a constant flow of business is sort of essential to stay alive. But this visualization will put you in the right frame of mind in case they don't qualify. It's not the right fit. You need to be prepared to say this calmly and confidently so you leave the conversation with respect between you and that prospect, because maybe then that prospect will go away and talk about your company and that conversation they had with you. In fact, most likely they will go away and talk about you, and that's what you want, because then hopefully it'll become a referral to someone who does fit your ideal client or prospect. So that's the authoritative frame. I highly, highly encourage you to use it. And what a week. So next week, I'll be back doing shorts every day to let you know just what's happening on those days. And we'll start gathering more data to be able to show you and talk to you about what's working, what's not working, what I think is happening. And we'll head into week 2 of 1,000 rejections in 100 days. At this rate, I'm really going to have to pick up the messaging, and I have some ideas on how to do that. So I'll also talk to you about that next week. Until next week, have a fabulous weekend, and see you on Monday.